He remembered the man who killed him, not in this life, in the one before, as a snake. Dalawong, based on a true case, a young boy in Thailand began speaking at the age of 3. He described with astonishing detail a past life, not as a person, but as a wild creature that died in a cave. Years later, he identified the man who had killed him, and the details he revealed were verified by international researchers. This is the true story of Dalawong, a case that challenges not only logic, but the very limits of what we think life is. In a small, rural village in Thailand, around 1961, a boy was born who would soon disrupt everything his community believed about life and death. His name was Dalawong. His family was well respected. His father was known in the region, and his mother was admired for her gentle character. Their lives were humble and typical of rural Thai society. But Dalawong stood out from the beginning. His skin, especially on the lower half of his body, had an unusual texture. Medically, the diagnosis was clear: ichthyosis, a rare genetic skin condition that causes the skin to become dry, thick, and scaly, similar to that of a reptile. For medical science, it was an uncommon but explainable condition. For his family, it was a mystery. For Dalawong himself, it was a clue to a past he could not forget. By the time he turned 3, Dalawong began to speak in a peculiar way. He said things no child his age should know. His family remembered one sentence vividly: "I was a deer. A hunter killed me. Then I became a snake." At first, they thought it was a child's imagination. But soon, they noticed something unsettling. He spoke with clarity and confidence. He described his previous life in detail. He had been a python, lived in a cave, and was attacked by 2 dogs before a man killed him with a stick. That man was called Mr. Hugh. The most intense moment came during a village celebration. A neighbor had hosted a party, and among the guests was Mr. Hugh, a man known to the family, but never before seen by Dalawong. As soon as he saw him, the child changed completely. He shouted, became aggressive, and reached for a stick to attack the man. The adults quickly restrained him, confused by his outburst. Dalawong, crying, pointed at Mr. Hugh and said, "You killed me when I was a snake." Then he added, "After he killed me, he cooked me. I saw my current father eat a piece of my body. He was kinder than the others. That's why I followed him and entered my mother's womb." Can a child's mind generate detailed memories of events he never lived and yet turn out to be real? The case eventually reached Francis Story, an independent British researcher who worked closely with Dr. Ian Stevenson, a psychiatrist at the University of Virginia and a pioneer in the scientific investigation of reincarnation. In 1966, Story traveled personally to the village to investigate. He interviewed Dalawong, the family, and Mr. Hugh. What he discovered was astonishing. Mr. Hugh admitted he had killed a python in a cave nearby. He confirmed that his 2 dogs had found the snake and that he beat it to death with a stick. He also confirmed that he gave part of the meat to Dalawong's father, who ate it. And most shocking of all, when Dalawong approached Mr. Hugh and touched his left shoulder, he said, "I bit you there." Mr. Hugh then revealed a real scar from a snake bite, precisely where Dalawong had pointed. The details aligned perfectly. The location, the method of death, the witnesses, the wound. There was no logical way Dalawong could have known any of this. Over time, Dalawong no longer hated Mr. Hugh. He eventually said, "Being a snake was terrible. He freed me from that suffering. His behavior began to reflect that shift. For a while, he would kill snakes out of compassion, believing he was helping them escape suffering. Later, he developed a deep interest in Buddhism, learned meditation, and began studying herbal medicine, claiming that the knowledge came to him through his spiritual practice. He was eventually recognized as a local healer, and he would regularly return to the cave where he said he had died to meditate. 20 years later, the case was revisited by Dr. Jürgen Keil, a German-born psychologist and parapsychologist living in Australia. In 1986, Keil traveled to Thailand to verify whether Dalawong still remembered the past events. He found him as an adult, and his memories remained intact. Dalawong still meditated in the cave, and his behavior continued to align with his story. He had never contradicted himself. The case was later referenced by Dr. Jim B. Tucker, Stevenson's successor, in his book Return to Life 2013. It is one of the very few scientifically documented cases suggesting reincarnation across species, from animal to human. Dalawong was born with ichthyosis. His skin looked like that of a snake. Was it just a genetic coincidence, or a physical trace of a deeper memory? Within the context of his memories, this condition seems like more than a medical curiosity. It feels like part of a larger story. Dalawong's story remains one of the most thoroughly documented animal-to-human reincarnation cases in psychiatric research. He said he had been a snake. He claimed he chose to return as the son of the man who had eaten him. Today, he walks as a healer, meditates in the place where he once died, and forgave the one who took his life. So what if reincarnation isn't just a belief, but part of a broader cycle of consciousness we don't yet understand? What if the soul remembers more than we dare to imagine? What do you think consciousness really is? Leave your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more real-life cases.